YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
I am here. Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Beyond Authentic Tarot. My name is Lisa, as it just said, and we are going to be doing some tarot readings on this here channel. Now, before we get going, I do have to say that we do have some housekeeping rules. Good evening to Ed. Hello. Ed is one of our lovely moderators here on the channel. It just keeps everything running smoothly. I'm doing rather well. I'm, apart from my hair attached to my lipstick, and again, I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm actually doing okay. I'm looking forward to, I think it could be Friday, so it could be tomorrow or later today, or it could be Monday, when the Crow film comes out, the long-awaited reboot, remake, reimagining of The Crow. That should be coming out very, very, very soon, I hope. I'm sure it said the 24th, which means Saturday, but that cannot be right, can it? That cannot be right. It would be very strange if a film was coming out on a Saturday evening, especially here in the UK. So maybe that was just the soundtrack that's coming out on Saturday. Maybe the film's coming out at another point. I don't know. But no, I'm doing okay. I am researching a lot of things at the moment, so I am not going to be changing the channel name again. Okay, so let's just get that established. There is going to be no more channel name changes. Beyond Authentic, as this is our channel, right? Beyond Authentic is the channel. When we do tarot streams, it will be up as Beyond Authentic Tarot. When I do the unboxings, the witch casket stuff, and any other witchy stuff, it will be Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. But there may well be a new one. So yeah, maybe we need to just bear that in mind, because there might be some interesting stuff to come. But for today, we are sticking with the traditional Beyond Authentic Tarot. Good evening, Holland. Look, Holland, we need to sort out. I'm excited is what it is. I'm excited. Yeah, we hope Ed's feeling better. So our lovely moderator Ed has been a bit poorly recently, a bit messy poorly, pukey, a bit green poorly emoji, if you know what I'm saying. But hopefully that is a bit behind. Hopefully that is, yeah, behind you now. That's what they say, isn't it? That's behind you now. Yeah, I didn't mean as in sickness and diarrhea behind you, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, hopefully you're tired but can't sleep. Oh, well, join us then, my darling. Join us for the stream. I do have this is a regular coffee, only because my sleep pattern is all over the place at the moment. But I did make Rufus a decaf, so he's got a decaf for whenever, because it is our late stream today. It is our late stream, so it is the late shift. So thank you for joining us tonight, everybody, on the late shift. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Holland. No problem, my friend. No problem, my friend. I thoroughly enjoyed your Temu, whatever it's called, art pen review, even though I have no desire in the world to buy art pens, and I didn't know they had like crayon pens, pencil things that are also watercolors. I didn't know that was a thing. So I was educated as well as being entertained by your video. So thank you very much for posting that. I do have, I've got so much. I'm in the middle of doing so much at the moment. I've made a whole load of a particular style of product for the shop for October, because that is slowly creeping up upon us. I have been looking at gadgets and things for the because you know what my brain's like, for the thing, for the up here thing, for that thing, this here, for that, because I think that's going to be cool. But also I have been looking at how other folks do ghost hunts and paranormal stuffs and all of that. So yes, it's been very interesting the last few days. Pinaya, hi to you, my darling. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It is nearly midnight here in the UK. Nearly midnight. We are about to tick into witching hour, which is always an interesting time for those of us that are witchy type folks. I was going to say something and I've completely forgotten where my train of thought went, because I looked at something on my desk. That's really bad, isn't it? You can ask a question, my darling. We're going to be opening up the it's the same in here. What? Where are you? Okay, cool. Supplies for what supplies? 23 hours and 56. Yes, indeed. That is the time that we've got. Where are you then, Pinaya? Well, you're in Morocco. Oh, that's very cool. Welcome from the UK. Welcome to Morocco. I don't live there, you do. That's the other way around, isn't it? But anyway, welcome from Morocco. Yes, that's what I should be saying. We are going to open up a free round very, very soon, Pinaya. So hold off on your question. In fact, go on. Shall we open one now? I think we should open one now. Just before I do, though, just before I open a round, let me press the magic button so that we all know the housekeeping rules. Okay, so these are the rules on this channel, because they're different from channel to channel. So this, my darling, is how this channel operates. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Yes, indeed. That is actually quite important. Do keep your personal information safe at all times, not just on this channel. I mean, you know, this channel is quite a lovely channel. We've got a lot of really nice people here, but do keep your digital safety safe, if that makes sense. We want everybody to be safe on the interwebs. Right then, so let's have a look. Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much. It's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Yes. It's going to be a regular Thursday now, Ellis. Good evening to you, my friend. It's going to be a regular Thursday. So if you are an insomniac, you can always come chill with us each and every Thursday evening. That is when we are now doing the late stream. So we've got Tuesdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Sunday for the members only, and of course 11:45 p.m. every Thursday evening. So we get started just before it clicks over to midnight, so I get all my waffle out the way, and then we get to Friday morning and we can start midnight hour tarot readings. Do you know what? I'm getting so excited. Hopefully either tomorrow or Saturday, hopefully not Saturday, but hopefully tomorrow, we're going to be going to TK Maxx. Why am I excited? Because they're getting their Halloween stock in, all of their Halloween decor. I've got, well, I mean, do you know, I really hate it when you get loose hairs. I've got one. Oh, because it's not attached to anything, that's why. So yes, there is one. Absolutely, it is all beginning to start. All of the Halloween decor is starting to come into the shops, and TK Maxx, or TJ Maxx as it is in the States, is a really good place for some really, really good spooky ookies. There's lots of their stuff online, but only a couple of items that have crows in. And I've said to Rufus this year, I'm only allowing myself one, maybe two items and they've got to have crows. It's got to be crow based, because otherwise it will just get bonkers. Lighthouse Dreamer, bear with. There are rules on the channel and ways of asking a question, which I'm going to get into very, very, very shortly. Oh, damn it. Right. So I need to go home bargains in the range as well then. It's not even September. Do you know what I mean? It's not even September. Anyway, shall we go ahead? It is now midnight. It is now officially the witching hour. So let's go ahead and launch a free round. So it is that time. The free round is now open. It should be in the live chat just about now. So then how do you get a reading on this channel? There are two ways. You can send it through as a super chat. That comes through automatically. It guarantees your space here on the it guarantees your reading is next, basically, here on the YouTubes. Okay, that will absolutely guarantee that you get that first slot. However, if you want a longer reading, make sure you donate £6 GBP or more. If, however, you want a free reading, that's perfectly acceptable. All you need to do for a free reading is put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. That will then go through. As I say, it will come through and one of those will get selected at random per round. Okay, so that's how you've got to do it. Start your question with the word question. The keeper of the questions will then select a person at random. That person will get the reading, and then everybody else will be in for the next free round. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So make sure you start your questions with the word question, and just in case you need a handy dandy recap, here we go with this little 28-second video. Okay, right then, let me have a look. Thank you very much. Keep up the questions. Pania, hang on. I'm not even on the comments section yet. Pania, I've got your question, that one there. How is your past impacting your current situation? Okie dokie, we'll have a look at that for you. So then, Lighthouse Streamer, Ellis Dodd, do me a favor, select and copy your question and pop it into the next free round. Pania, I'll be doing your question in exactly 15 seconds time. Okay, Pania. So then, as always, whilst I am reading, let me just get this. Which one is it I am on? There we go. Whilst I'm reading, I don't have a chance to look at the comment section because my ADHD will trigger me to high heaven. So then, let's have a look. We cleanse the space as always, and we'll bring in the air elemental dragon, which is Wispy. So then, good evening, Wispy. Or good morning, I should say. Just gone midnight there. So then, Pania has a question. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Pania. Pania. Oh, look at that. We've had that king jump very definitively. We've got red flags. We've got red flags, Pania. How is your past impacting your current situation? We've got the King of Wands coming up as a red flag. So let's have a look. I'm going to do your drop and I'll do your 3 cards. So what is this card? Why do we consider it important? Well, when we get a card, a single card, flip and leave the deck as I'm shuffling, if it comes out face up, it is, or we on this channel, we believe that it is our Wispy, our air elemental dragon, flipping the card and making it your clarifying or modifying card. So this card is the lens that we look at these other 3 cards from. Okay, so it changes the meanings a little bit. So where you are, what you need to know, and what the outcome is. You've got a lot of king energy here, right? Okay, so first of all, let's look at the King of Wands. Why did I shout red flag? Because he's literally carrying a red flag. This king coming up as a modifying card is basically saying if there was authoritative or aggressive male energy in your past, okay, so that could be father figure, authority figure as a boss or as a partner that was controlling. If this is the past that you're talking about, if there is that sort of history in your past, then it is absolutely impacting your current worldview. If it's that sort of controlling masculine energy. The reason I'm saying that is because we've got the King of Wands coming up. Why I'm getting adverts? Why am I getting adverts from Chrome? Very bizarre. And we've also got here coming up the King of Swords, but I'll get to this one in a second. But the King of Wands for me is the red flag, because it's the overconfidence, it's the arrogance. So Wands is confidence, self-esteem, self-image, all of that. And for me, when we go to the extreme, so the 10 of Wands or the King, it tips over confidence and becomes very arrogant, very controlling type energy. But let's look at your reading. So where you are right now, we've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. It feels like you're trying to move on. It feels like you're trying to you're trying to advance career-wise and grow from what's happened. Now this deck is fantastically diverse, so don't read any into the fact that this particular card's character happens to have a metal leg, happens to be an amputee. That is just part of the design of the cards. It's got very little to do with the meaning as such. However, there is an element here where this character is persevering through hardship, through difficulties. They are persevering. They are still trying to grow. They are still trying to keep that earth energy, which is growth, that we all need to continue growing, that the Pentacles brings. Now it is reversed, so I do think you're struggling with this. Knights are normally that what's it called? Knights are normally that teenage rebellious type energy. Now I don't think for you it's no longer teenage rebelliousness. I think it's you struggling to be able to move forward, but I think you're trying to move forward. You're still trying to grow, even though it feels like this past energy is still around, because quite frankly I think it is still around. You've got the King of Swords coming up in what you need to know. The King of Swords, as you can see, they've got a bullhorn, they're campaigning, they're big shouty characters, right? Linked in with this King of Wands coming overall and adapting everything. I think that whoever this energy was, whatever this past energy was from this very, very masculine red flag energy, I think it's still got you. I think I'll look into it in just a second, but this is, for me, this is as deep as kind of how can I put it? It almost feels, the King of Swords almost feels like, hang on, what was the card I was thinking of? There we go. It feels like this, the Emperor, right? To have these two kings coming up feels like Emperor energy. It feels like somebody trying to control every little thing about your life. And I think I would assume, my darling, that this is in the past because of how your question's phrased. But I think this is a very real thing still now in your head. I think this King of Swords is living rent free in your head, put it that way. Swords is the suit, of trouble and strife, challenges, obstacles, hurdles. It can be a very powerful card to inhabit, but if it's sticking around and you don't want it to, then it can be a very, very, very negative type card to have that energy around. And I think this is sticking with you because this is in the what you need to know. It's like it's still in your subconscious. My darling, I would 100% advise for you to check out some sort of counseling or counseling's type support, because this feels like it's lingering from whatever it was in the past. However that energy came about, it's absolutely still there. There's like it's, as I say, it's living rent free in your head. In the opportunity for the future, we do have the 10 of Pentacles, but as I just said earlier, nines are overflowing. Sorry, 9 is full, a 10 of something is overflowing. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. Same here with the Knight. So this is you, I believe, wanting to grow and wanting to move on. It could also be career, work and finances, but I don't think it's relating to that in this particular reading. I think this is saying that you want to move on, you want to move forward, you want to grow. However, the 10 is that it's almost like you want to bypass the step of having to deal with what happened, and that's impossible. Okay, my darling, that can't happen. You have to go through and get rid of whatever that negativity is that happened. Yeah, you have to get rid. Otherwise, these two are going to keep popping back up time and time again. I do have a little bit of experience of having gone through some stuff in my life, and all I can really say is that if you don't actively clear it out, it can have a really, really massive effect on you that you don't even realize is there. And that's something that can be really debilitating over time. So yeah, my darling, what I would say is, look, it's absolutely impacting your current situation. It's not that it's destroying it, but it's like, how can I put it? Okay, I'll put it like this. Right. Okay. An example. It's a bit like an atomic bomb, right? The atomic bomb goes off. Everybody in that vicinity, everything that happens is really shit. After a while, that space, that area where the atomic bomb went off, it's no longer as bad. And a little while later, things can start growing again, and things can start, or things look from the surface that they return to normal. But what you don't realize is that radiation is under the surface, and it's tainting everything, and it's affecting everything. So even though you could knock the whole area down, build new houses, that radiation will still taint everything. So on the outside, it looks like a lovely brand new house, right? Inside, in the foundations, in the soil, in the air, is all of that radiation. It's still there. So you can put the mask on. Everything's fine now. Look, we've built new houses. Isn't everything wonderful? You can do all that mask, but you know what happens? Eventually, that radiation needs to be dealt with, because otherwise nothing is going to live for very long in that space. And that's what this is saying for you, my darling. You need to process what happened and what was in your past before you're able to deal with your future. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And yeah, I'm oh, there we go. I'm sorry for whatever happened to you, my darling, but I do hope that you're able to move forward, because it does feel like at the moment you're being stuck, reliving or stuck somewhat in the past. So I do hope that that helps. And thank you ever so much for your question, my darling. And thank you for being here. Right. Let me have a look in the, let me have a look here. Absolutely no problem, my darling. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you went through that. I'm so sorry you went through that. Okay, Ed, have a good night, my darling. You just realized that the black sticker on your front door almost exactly matches the crow tattoo on your wrist. Oh, it's been there since before you moved in. There you go. You see, connections. Oh, no problem. No problem, my darling. Listen, I totally recommend counseling support, right? I've had it done. I've had a bit of counseling training in the over the years, to be able to know where my boundaries lie and what I need to do in order to be a better tarot reader and things like that. But in terms of support for yourself, you're in Morocco, so I don't know if there are charity organizations there that help with counseling, or whether you're able to access that. The thing is, right, the thing is, the good thing about 2024, as much as there's a lot of shit going on, we've got the interweb. We've got the internet now. So there are counseling services and support services for dealing with abusive exes and, you know, overcoming and unpicking some of that abuse psyche. There are now ways to get help. I wouldn't recommend BetterHelp, the one that everybody on the internet recommends, because I've heard some shocking stories from them. But there are lots and lots and lots of online support, Facebook groups, things like that, that will be able to offer a bit of support. But if you're able to access counselling in your area, my darling, that's what I would truly, truly recommend, because it will help clear that blockage and it will help you move forward in a new way. So yeah, thank you ever so much, my darling, for your question. And I hope that things get better for you. I really think they can, and think they will. It's just might take a little bit of time, my darling, but thank you very much for your question. Right then, this is Beyond Authentic, and we do tarot readings here. And I've got to say, we also have a really lovely community here, as you all know, as you're all finding out if you are new here. And I've also got some of the most amazing moderators that help keep the channel safe. And one of them happens to be this lovely human being here.
Lisa is such a good tarot reader. I've experienced that for myself because Lisa's read for me quite a few times. But as a mod on her channel, I've also seen loads of times when people have said things like, oh yeah, that really resonates, or that's exactly it, you've hit the nail on the head. And because she doesn't sugarcoat, she just tells it like it is. It can really be quite an emotional and cathartic experience, because they're not just being told what they want to hear, they're being told, as she says it, what you need to know. So I definitely recommend her. It's a really good idea to sign up for one of her memberships because they're such good value. You can be part of private live streams that take place before the main ones. And then you're in a much smaller group of people, so you're not competing with all these other people to get a reading. And it's also just a chance to chat with other like-minded people who have that kind of spirituality.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for Holland. Holland sent that across to me one day and said, is this okay for your channel? And I was like, yes, thank you very much. It's very kind. Right then. So we do tarot readings here. So if anybody would like a tarot reading, there are two ways to get one. The first way is to send it through as a super chat. Okay. All right, Neil. Thank you. The first way is to send it through as a super chat. And that will come through to me automatically, and automatically guarantee your next slot. However, if you don't want to or can't send a super chat, you can always send it through when I open up a free round, which I am doing right now. So go ahead, pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get selected totally at random by the keeper of the question. So please do go ahead, please do go ahead, pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will be chosen at random. Just in case you need a recap, here is a handy dandy little video. It is very quiet here today. Obviously, it is midnight here in the UK. Ed, oh no, Ellis, I've got your question, my darling. You're the only one that's posted one. Bear with me. I just turned my light up, and I think I turned it up too much. Oh no, even worse. There we go. Fantastic. Right then. So, Ellis, I'm going to do your question right. There we go. Right now. So, Ellis, your question will start in exactly 6 seconds time. Okay, let's have a look. Before we go any further, we do the standard cleanse the energy by ringing that there bell. I think this light here is a little bit dark. do I need to increase it back again? I think I might need to. Bear with me just 1 second. Oh, gone too far the other way now. There we go. Is that a bit better? I think that looks a little bit better on camera. So then, let's have a look. So we cleanse the space for Ellis. And then we always bring in the ever lovely Wispy. So then, Wispy, Ellis would like some guidance on what direction to take, work or study-wise. I've been told, Ellis has been told they're being made redundant and have no idea what to do. I'm so sorry to hear that, Ellis. That's a bit crap, isn't it, my friend? Right then, let's have a wee look and see what the cards say. Okay. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do, Ellis. We'll do you a... Shall we do a horseshoe, Wispy? Shall we do a horseshoe and see what insight we can find from a horseshoe? Right, we'll do you a horseshoe, my friend, just because we're a little bit quiet tonight. So we've got the extra time. We haven't got sort of 37 people all asking for questions at the same time. So we'll do you a horseshoe. Okay, so then let's have a look. If you are, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I was about to say something. If you are, no, hang on. I'm trying to click. Let me click the button first. Let me click the button. So then, if you are watching this for the first time, if you're part of the replay crew, or if you're joining us for the first time, for a start, good evening, welcome. If you are new here, please do the YouTubey things. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, dong your bell, so that YouTube lets you know, and change your settings to all, so that YouTube lets you know whenever I go live, which will be every Tuesday, Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, and Thursday evenings at 12:45 UK time. We normally stream for 2 hours. On a Thursday night, we stream until 2 a.m. UK time. Yeah, do go ahead and do those YouTubey things. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're part of the replay crew, please do hit that like button. It really does help us out on the channel. It really does. Right then, Ellis, so we're going to do you a horseshoe reading. Let's have a look then. So Wispy, what advice, what guidance can we find for Ellis in the cards? Let's have a look. So, oh, past. A repeat card. You saw how many times I shuffled? Oh, you can't see the repeat card there. Let me just pop your question down for a second. There you go. Look, that's the King of Swords in the repeat card. We've got the 10 of Cups in the present. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. With the way I read, for a split second, my brain was like, well, yeah, that's not, we don't do standard tarot here, do we? Right. Oh, no, we'll do that one, and that one. Oh, well, I wasn't intending to, Ellis, but we're doing you a 10 card reading. I wasn't intending to do that, but there you go, my friend. So then, in the past position, we've got the King of Swords. So work-wise, let me just bring that back on. There we go. Work-wise, I think there's a lot here to maybe unpick. Maybe I know you'd been in the job for a little while, but maybe there was this a case of last in, first out, or was this a case of, you know, maybe not getting on entirely with an authority figure here? It feels like there might have been a little bit of a not a disagreement as such, but maybe a bit of ill feeling or a little bit of contentiousness between yourself and maybe one of the bosses or something. It just feels like there wasn't a harmonious relationship, put it that way, at all times. I'm not saying that, you know, it was that you're being picked on by being made redundant, but if it's a case of, you know, there's lots of people here and one definitely needs to sort of to go, then unfortunately, you know, you're chosen for whatever reason. So yeah, I think there could be a little hint of a personality clash or something around that. Now, in the present, we've got the 10 of Cups. Now, this is overflowing with emotions, right? So this is obviously, at first I was like, but the 10 of Cups is normally such a happy card. It's like, it's not the way I read it isn't. And this is one of those situations where it's like everything at the moment is a bit too much to handle. Do you know what I mean? There's too much going on. It's a lot. It's an overwhelming amount of emotion that you're feeling. Again, because I do believe you've been in this job for a little while, and it's probably completely come out of the blue. And the thing is, when you get that, it can feel a lot more personal, especially if there is somebody who maybe you don't necessarily click with 100%. But I do think, like, purely and simply, at the moment, you're quite right and quite in your right to feel your emotions and let yourself feel them, right? So don't worry about if people are saying, oh, you know, don't be like that, don't feel like that, don't do that. Just you feel those emotions, you feel the upset and the shock and all of that. You feel it and feel those feelings, right? Don't let them overwhelm you, but you are perfectly entitled to feel them, right? Absolutely. Now, the influence, we've got the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is all about movement, right? And the influence here could be one of two different things. So it could be influencing you to move to a very, very different career, right? So if there is something that you are looking into that is totally different, I believe you were chefing, and if there's something that is totally different to what you've done, this Chariot could be hinting at that. However, it could also be hinting at the fact that you just need to move forward. So it's a little bit of a, you know what? It's a little bit of a stupid card, right? And I'll tell you why it's a stupid card in this case, because you've told me what the question is, right? And because you've said you want some guidance, this is what's happened. Regardless of what the cards say, you have no choice but to move on right now. This influence position, right? You have no choice. You've got to move forward in some fashion, regardless of what the cards would say. If you hadn't asked the question and this had come up, you'd probably be sat there at home going, wow, look at the cards. That's really spooky. They're talking about a change and moving forward and a journey forward. And but because you've asked that question, this just is echoing what you've said. But I just want to flag it because it's showing that, yes, the cards know, even, you know, laying down random bits of cardboard on a table, it's saying that there is this need to move on now, if that makes sense. Anyway, it just reiterates entirely what your current situation is. The Four of Cups being in the obstacle position, this is stagnancy. So this is saying to me that even if this wasn't happening, and you were going to still be in the same job, that you're feeling stagnant in that position anyway, right? So even if this wasn't on the cards, it feels like this card would come up, because it feels like, I don't know whether you'd got bored with the job or wanting to move forward or wanting to change companies or something, but it feels very much like this stagnancy was coming in. The Four of Cups is in your emotion suit. And fours are normally quite stable, quite positive, well, quite, you know, at least things are settled down for the time being type cards. This is reversed and it's in your obstacle. So this absolutely, I think this energy was, you were beginning to feel frustrated in the job anyhow. And this is one of those things, be careful what you wish for, right? Be careful what you put out into the universe, because you may have been manifesting for a little while. Oh, I really want to move on, but I'm not sure. I really want to change, but I'm not sure. I really want to do something different, but I'm not sure. The fact that you keep saying you want to do something different, you want to move on, you want to find another job, you want to, you know, look for something different, the universe has heard that, and now you've got no choice. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's your fault that this has happened, but it feels like this is a really good opportunity for you to move forward. Okay, I'll sort that out after, Holland. Thank you. In fact, let me bear with me 1 second. In the way that other people see you, they see you as if you are perhaps tied to the job a little bit. There we go. I've put it on now, Holland. Thank you. Yeah, they see you as tied to the job. They see you as being quite emotionally connected to things. So I don't think that's a bad thing, you know. I don't think being emotionally connected is a bad thing. Thank you. Right then, let me... there we go. Sorry, everybody. I am just banning and removing the troll. There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Holland. There we go. Troll attack. Never mind. Averted. But the thing is, remember, this is just other people, right? This is just other people. I think where we've got the advice, we've got the 10 of Wands reversed, right? Burn it down. No, don't burn it down. This is a really interesting card because the 10 of Wands is normally about it can veer on arrogance, but this is reversed and it's in the advice position. Do you know what this is saying to me? You need to start selling. No, that sounds wrong. Selling yourself, not selling yourself, but selling your abilities, selling your traits, because I think that you actually have an awful lot of incredibly good qualities and transferable qualities from this particular job that I am sure that you will just feel, oh yeah, well, it's just me doing the job. But actually this is saying you need to sell yourself more in interviews and in covering letters and things like that. You really need to push, right? Imagine that Ellis is your best friend, right? And that you are going to write a letter, a covering letter for your best friend to help your best friend get a job. And you are going to sell them. You are going to make this company that is looking for an employee, you are going to make them salivate at the mere idea of employing your best friend Ellis, right? Be entirely truthful, but sell the skill set, sell the mindset, sell the work ethos, even if it's a job that is different to what you've done. That's how you need to think about approaching the workplace now, right? Think of it as being your bestie. Think of it as being your sibling. You are trying to make somebody else out there pay attention and realize all those amazing qualities that Ellis has, right? And you need to put that in the CV. You need to put it in the covering letter. You need to sell it in the interview. It just so happens that you are Ellis. You are your best friend, but they don't need to know that. When you are selling yourself, you can still not talk in the third person because, you know, they tend to not like that. But think of it in those terms. Think of it in the terms of, do you know what? I have some skills that other people would absolutely be crying out for in that workplace, because they will, because of what you've done. Now, the outcome is really quite positive. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is work, career, finances, right? The Queen energy is a strong, it could be assistant manager job, it could be assistant head chef job, you know, whatever in that foodie type field. If this is what you're wanting to go into and you sell your passion and you basically say, this is what I love, this is why I love the job, this is why I was getting stagnated, not because I didn't want to cook or I didn't want to do things, but because I was kept down. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to, oh, excuse me, my coffee's repeating on me. This is how I wanted my career to go, and I was kept back. That's what you do. This is really, really positive outcome card, Ellis. This is saying that there is, not only is there work, but it's work that you have got a very good opportunity of going into a higher than entry level position because of that Queen energy, possibly some sort of, yeah, I would say like assistant managery type higher level than going in entry. But this is within the same field, but different, right? So don't feel that you have to go and do the same job that was leaving you stagnant. No, this is the same field, but different. Open your eyes, open your prospects, sell your bloody good qualities, and literally but have that sense of belief. This is not a negative. This is a negative. This is not a negative. This is telling me that you don't have an ounce of that arrogance, that perhaps you need a little tiny slither of it, like a little shaving of truffle. That's all you need of this in order to push that forward. Does that make sense? Like a little bit of that 10 of wands energy, a little bit of that will take you a long way. And at the moment, you're completely without it. This is absolutely what you need. Right, let's have a look. Queen of Wands, again, Wands, again, Queen, again. Strong nurturing energy, very strong nurturing energy. The Queen of Wands, show yourself, put yourself on that stage, whether that is in the interview, whether that is in the CV letter, the covering page, all of that. Put yourself on the stage. Imagine that you are being seen. You are the drama queen, the drag queen on the stage performing. You are the center of attention because you deserve to be, right? You absolutely deserve to be. As somebody who's done this and been that center of attention on stage, the only reason you get to do that for more than just a karaoke night is because you work bloody hard to get there, right? This is what you need to sell. You need to have this strength and confidence in your own ability. We've got the Three of Cups. So this is about your emotional self. Now, this is you not, how can I put it? This is you moving forward without necessarily having to take all of the advice. And this is you pushing your ideals first. Does that make sense? Sometimes with the Three of Cups, if it's this way up, it can be ask the guides, ask the guidance, ask the muses, ask the sisters, no, this isn't about that. This is about remembering that actually for you to move forward, sometimes you need to have your own plan, your own thought, and follow your gut, basically. And then you've got the World. So this is an amazing card. My God, Ellis, this is so cool. You've got the World. Yes, she's reversed because you did not want this. This was not on your 2024 bingo card, right? This was not at all anywhere near your wish list for this year. However, you're stuck with it, kind of, because look, you've got the World. This is coming up. This is basically saying, look, this is what you need to embrace. This is what you need to absolutely follow, right? Whatever you want to do now, this is your chance to step through. It's reversed, not because it's showing as a negative, but because this is not the time, the place that you had this down to do. You might have been looking to move on. You might have been looking to get a different job and, having a little look over here and picking up the paper over there. Now it's something you've got to do. The universe is now kicking your ass and saying, come on then, get on with it. Make this change. You've wanted to change for a while. Come on then, now's the time. And that's why the World is reversed here, because it's not what you would have planned in your head. But the problem is, when we plan things in our head, we wait for the right time, the right moment, the right this, that, and the other. And very rarely do those stars align, those planets all in a row. Very rarely does that actually happen. 9 times out of 10, we have to have a kick up the arse. And this is your kick up the arse, right? I think you've got an amazing opportunity here, an absolute amazing opportunity, right? You just need to decide how you want to move forward. What was it that was stagnating you in the job before? Was it just that you were kept back because there weren't opportunities to progress? Was it that this wasn't the field that you wanted to go into? If secretly you wanted to go and change careers completely and do something else completely, this is the universe saying, look, this is your chance. This is your chance. Okay. Only you know this answer. Only you know if your stagnation here was because of the job, that specific job, then that's one thing. If it's because it was the entire field and you want to change the entire field, then in that case, my darling, that's when it's time for you to step through a brand new world. Either way, you've got lots of transferable skills. This is, I think this is an exciting time for you. I think you just need to grasp it as such and go for it, my darling. Absolutely go for it. And I hope that helps, Ellis. I really do. I'm not sure that it does. I bet you were hoping for the cards to say, absolutely, you need to go and be a car salesman or something. That is your, you know, not your legacy. What's it called? That's your destiny. But unfortunately, my friend, you know, the cards don't work that way. But yes, I hope that helps. I really, really do. It feels positive. It feels positive. Don't be surprised if there's like I don't know, a 6-month spot on the dole, or, you know, if you've got a little bit of time stocking shelves in a supermarket to make ends meet, you've got to, before redundancy happens, you've got to get out there and start selling yourself in the best possible way with your CV, with your skills, with your transferable skills in the current job market. And I am, with the Queen of Pentacles coming up as your outcome card, with the Queen of Wands coming in, and also with the World card reversed, that, oh my God, now we've got to step through all of that. I think you're going to do well. All of that, I think you're going to do well. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you for your question, and I hope that helps. I really, really do. Right then, let's have a look in. Oh gosh, excuse me. Right, let's have a look. Oh, that does look better. Thank you. It's a bit bright on me here. I look very gothy, but that's fine. That's fine. Good evening, Laurie Sue Craggin Clamped. I probably murdered your name. Apologies for that. Ellis, your workplace is closing, so we're all being made redundant. The clash with the authority figure was the old manager that you reported for being homophobic, transphobic, and racist, but she quit due to that. Good. What a bitch. Yes, it did feel stagnant anyway, but you held off leaving because feeling guilty over the staffing issues. That happens, isn't it? Lola, could I have a message from a loved one that's passed? Not really something I do, my darling. Not really something I do. I can read the cards for you to see what the energy on the cards is. I'm not necessarily certain. We have had things come through in the past. It's not something. I am not a medium. I'm a double extra large. I know, right? No. I don't mean that. But I'm not a medium. But there are sometimes things that come through when I'm reading. So I'm more than happy to read the tarot for you in a bit. You want to change career entirely. Listen, look at what you've just done and look for transferable skills, right? Transferable skills. So that can be in the way of you served customers in, I don't know what it was that you did, but imagine you worked at Greg's, right? I know it's not, but you work at Greg's. You think, oh, there's no transferable skills. Actually, there is, because you're able to follow instructions. You're able to do all your food hygiene and your allergen information. You're able to serve customers and talk to people. You're able to make sandwiches. I don't know what it is, but there are transferable skills there. Once you go into more of, again, if you were like in the kitchen cooking in an actual kitchen, then you're able to handle stress. You're able to deal with a tough, stressful ongoing environment. You're able to work under pressure. You're able to maintain high standards under pressure. All of that. Do you know what I'm saying? There's all of that in play. So yeah, hopefully, my darling, hopefully, fingers crossed, you won't be on you won't be without work for very long, if at all. What I would say is get out there now, get your CV updated, go to the job center. There are places and things and community hubs and that will help you get all your CV and everything up to date in a way that the modern world needs, right? do all of that. That's what I would say. Right. It looks as if we've got so few people on the stream right now. Lola, I am going to read for you. Do you have a specific question, Lola? If you've got a specific question, pop it into the chat, and I will. I'm breaking all my own rules of the channel here, but I will. I am absolutely. What? Restart to install the latest Windows update? No. Don't want to restart. I'm on a live stream. Windows does not respect that, does it? I'm breaking all my own rules, but pop your details into the chat, Lola, of a question that you would like answered by the cards, and I will do that for you next. Good evening, spiritual inspiration. How are you, my darling? What does that actually say? It says your wings were ready, but I can't read that says. I can't read what that says. Your wings were ready. I can't read what your picture says. It looks interesting. Anywho, Lola, my darling, I'm going to read for you. This is going to be interesting one. I'm going to read for you in a couple of seconds. Right. I tell you what. I'm going to hit this magic button, and I will read for you in 30. I think it's 31 seconds time. Okay, my darling. 37 seconds. I just need a slurp of coffee, and so I will read for you straight after this. Yes, indeed. Right then, I'm going to read for Lola. Lola, my darling. If you are new here and your name isn't Lola, do me a favor. Oh, thank you. Your wings were ready, but my heart was not. Thank you. That makes sense. Oh, lovely to have you here, spiritual inspiration. Right, I'm going to click off, and I need to click on. Hang on a second. It would help if I click on the message before I click off that page, wouldn't it? It really would. It would. Right then. So, Lola, my darling, let's see what happens. So, we're looking for a question of what your future may hold. And instantly, we've had a card drop. I have realized I haven't done the cleansing, but actually, I'm not going to do the cleansing. I am going to bring in Wispy. Was the person that... Right, okay. This is where we don't like doing this on the streams, but was the person that passed a... Oh, how to put this? Wispy. I want clarifying at Wispy on the Hierophant. So the Hierophant traditionally, Lola, is a male person seen as a teacher or a guide, a guru, normally seen as somebody with answers, somebody that's older. So it could be a father figure. It could also be a grandfather figure, if that fits. It's definitely somebody significantly older. Right, so the Hierophant is all about finding answers, and in this deck specifically, the Hierophant is very much seen as that researcher, so somebody who is incredibly studious. like somebody very learned. The Hierophant is reversed, which is maybe suggesting that advice hasn't been followed, or the Hierophant's advice is something that cannot be followed, if that makes sense, because it is so either so detailed or so so spiritual. The other thing with the Hierophant, Lola, is that it's in other decks it would be called something like the High Priest or the Pope. It's like it's very, very, very strongly religious. Yes, there's guidance, and yes, there are answers and a learnedness, but very, very, very incredibly. Hang on, I'm going to come on the chat. That one. Incredibly religious. Right, let me just have a look. Your real name's Lindsay. Right, okay, my darling. Your dad and both granddads have passed. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, Wispy, come on, give me that again. If one of them was particularly religious and particularly like deeply so, by the book, like almost a, not a missionary, what's it called? What are they called? Oh my God, there's a word for it, and my brain's complete. A lay preacher, yeah, almost like a lay preacher. Right, let's have a look at what the cards might say. So, where you are right now. Did I cut the cards? No, I didn't. I didn't cut the cards. Right, sorry. Hold on. I know I'm breaking my own rules in this way, but I need to at least keep the established way that we read on the channel. So there we go. We cut the cards. We then have the where you are right now. Okay, the Chariot's back up. So there is a massive journey that you're going on, a really big journey, Lindsay, of perhaps a journey of discovery, but I think there's also a physical element here. So are you moving? Is there something where you're looking at moving quite a significant distance? Basically, it feels like it feels like your life is almost in a shifting position right now, and it feels like you're going to move. How can I put this? Right. For a start, let's get everything set up properly. So it feels like you are wanting to make a significant change in where your life is. You're wanting to go on a bit of a journey that is more than just an emotional and spiritual journey. You're also wanting to go to physically move, whether that is, the take a year out to go find yourself type thing where you're physically traveling and emotionally learning, or whether it's something like you want to move away to university or move away for work, and that is something that is going to, you are going to grow and is going to be a massive spiritual and emotional journey for you. Do you know what I mean? There's something like this is both of those combined. It's not just a physical journey, which some tarot readers would see the Chariot as. It's also, there's a very big emotional stroke. It almost feels like this is a growing up element involved somehow. So whether you're moving away for the first time or you're moving on your own for the first time, it feels like there's a significant, because this is a major arcana card, there is a significant journey ahead of you right now. What you need to know, we've got the Six of Pentacles reversed, right? So the Six of Pentacles, when it's upright, talks about sort of community and finances. So it often refers to charity and supporting charity and supporting this, that, and the other. This way round, I always read it as basically saying, look, do not be scared or do not be fearful of asking for help. Right? If you need to ask for help, if you need to ask for financial support, if you need a little bit of a helping hand, a hand up in what you're doing right now, do not be afraid of asking for that. It's, you know, you'll be surprised how many people, if they know that you are struggling, will say, I don't have much, but I can help with this, I can help with that, I can help with the other. And sometimes it's our own sense of pride that we can hold ourselves back and really stop ourselves asking for support when we really, really, really need it. And that can be all sorts of kinds. I think this is to deal with, because of this move, it almost feels like, how can I put it? It feels like there's quite a distance that you're wanting to travel. And it feels like part of this is need, and part of this is that this is something that you're wanting to do. But I also really, really think that this element of asking for support, it's almost like crowdfunding or going abroad with a charity or something. It feels very, very, yeah, it feels like this is absolutely linked into this idea of moving or this idea of travel. Do not be afraid of asking for support. Do not be afraid of asking for help to deal with the finances on here. There's something here around, you know, you are going to be granted. It could be a grant, you know, it could be a bursary, it could be that you're going to uni, and this is, do universities give like financial packages and things? I don't know, but it feels like there is a financial package or something coming your way. You've just got to do the applying and showing need and all of that. And especially if it's on a big future life journey for you, and if it involves moving away from where you currently call home, then all of these things are looking really good, if that makes sense. And then the outcome, right? This is, the Magician is about manifesting the world as you see it. The Magician, when it's reversed, be really mindful, be really careful around people trying to manipulate you. Okay, so whatever this is, whatever this charitable element is, if you're going abroad, make sure that every T is crossed, every I is dotted, everything is in place. There's a lot here about not allowing yourself to get taken for granted. Okay, whatever this financial element is, I think you need to reach out. How can I? Okay, right. The channel's called Beyond Authentic, and I try desperately hard. Let me come down here. Let me do this. Right. The channel's called Beyond Authentic for a reason, because we start with authenticity, right? I think you have a need right now for some financial support. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't know whether you are at risk of losing a home, and that's what this journey is with the Chariot. I'm not sure, but it absolutely feels like you have to ask for some financial assistance here from somewhere. I don't know what country you're in. I don't know whether there's like a benefit system or social security type system in wherever you are. If there is, or if there isn't, right? as soon as you are done with this, if it's daytime where you are, Google charities, financial support charity in your area, right? Google them, go and see what there may be in your area. In the UK, we've got something called the Citizens Advice Bureau, which is overwhelmed, over flooded with calls and cannot cope with the number of people that are contacting them. But they are really good at basically saying, you need some help. These are places to get help. This is how you apply. This is how you do it, right? There will be the same, hopefully, fingers crossed, but it won't be called Citizen Advice Bureau, but there'll be the same sort of charitable organizations in every area. I think you need to really, really, really get this under control now, because it's basically saying, look, if you do not get this under control, here with the magician's card, with this being reversed, it'll be very, very easy for things to not go well for you, and for your situation to get a lot worse. When the magician is reversed, it's talking about being manipulated. It's talking about being lied to and not having the situation the way that you want. It's talking about being gaslit, all of those things, right? Be really, really careful. I don't think this card is in play yet. I really don't think the magician is in play. None of this is coming from anybody that's passed. The only thing I could say with the Hierophant is that it's a guru teacher figure to go towards. So I think you absolutely need to reach out to some sort of charitable organization and try and see where your finances lie now and how you can look at improving them. The Chariot, it does feel as if there is a journey here for you to go on, and it does feel as if there may well be a need to move somewhere cheaper, or to, yeah, that's what I'm getting with that, is that it feels like there is this need to move on and maybe change cities or change states or whatever. Hang on, let me come into the chat again. You're not moving but would like to travel. You've been lost for a long time with your depression, anxiety. I get that. You also have fun. You do also have financial worries. The financial worries, absolutely. Oh, Holland's put a really good piece of advice in here. You are in the UK, right? Listen to Holland then. Step change to help tackle it. They were very helpful to Holland. Yeah, so step change, Citizens Advice Bureau, things like that. I think you've got advice that was crap. I think you've gone to the wrong people for advice. I think you need to not listen to the wider internet, not listen to even friends that don't know. But yeah, I think you absolutely need to make some changes in your life in terms of your life's journey. So you talk about sort of feeling lost with depression. Have you got help with that? Have you actually gone to a GP? I have been on antidepressants since I was 16 and a half. And I mean, that's nearly 10 years ago now. I mean, no, it's over 30 years ago now. And I'm quite confident in saying that I probably wouldn't still be here if it wasn't for those, because, and also I talk about it very, very openly, because I'm also diabetic. So I take one lot of tablets that help control my pancreas and my blood sugars and all of that. And I take another lot of tablets that help control my brain chemicals. I don't see any stigma attached to one that isn't attached to the other. Do you know what I mean? You don't stigmatize one lot of tablets that keep your body going and then one lot for your brain. It makes no sense to me. So as far as I'm concerned, if you've got some depression and you need some antidepressants, and if it's clinical depression, go and speak to your GP, get that help. If it doesn't work straight away, because chances are it won't, keep persevering, get them to change the amount, change the levels, change everything until they get that cocktail right in your brain. And then you'll come out of it slowly, very slowly. It's not like you'll take a tablet and you'll wake up the next day and the sun will be shining and the plants will be turning to face you and the birds will be coming down and landing on your fingers. But it will help. And over time, that little bit of help becomes just right. Okay, so you're on that. If it's not helping though, because you say you've been lost with your depression and anxiety, if it isn't helping, go back to the doctors and get the levels looked at. Yeah, absolutely with Holland. You've got to find the right medication, the right levels, and the right amounts. And once you find that magic elixir, life does help. It really does. And life can improve. So if that is still, if you're still feeling lost, then do please get some support there. Good evening, Stephanie Brandon from Kentucky. Hang on, what is that? That will be, is that Kentucky is that mountain time? Is it 6:05 where you are? Is that right? Is it 6:05 where you are in the evening? 6:05 in the evening? Is that right? 6:05 on Thursday. That's like being a time traveler. Do you want me to tell you what the lottery results are going to be? I can tell you if you want. 8:05. Hang on a second. So you're the same as New York time. Ah, right. Okay, you're the same as New York time. That's okay, Lindsay, my darling. No problem at all. But yeah, keep going back to the doctors until you start feeling like light is happening, but do get some financial advice there. It really does feel as if you need it. But anyway, thank you very much for your question. Thank you very much for your support. So it is 8 o'clock in the evening in Kentucky. Does that mean you've had your dinner and now you're settling down for a bit of YouTube time? Sounds like it. So because where we are here in the UK, it is 1:05 in the morning. And I'm just finishing me coffee before heading to bed in an hour. So yeah, that's good, isn't it? Anyway, it is time. Shall we have another round of tarot? I think we should. So then, if you would like a free reading, all you got to do is pop your question into that live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get selected at random. If you want to guarantee that your reading is up next, you can do so by sending your question through as a super chat. Any amount will guarantee you the next slot. If we get multiple super chats, I read them in the order they came in. If you want to guarantee yourself a longer reading, then you can do so by donating £6, or that works out to be about $8 or more. Okay, take any of those options. They're all coming up on screen, and here is a handy dandy recap. We'll be doing the next reading in about 30 seconds. Hello, right then, let me just turn the banner off. Rimshata here. You're the only one who popped a question in on that round, my darling. I didn't even know you were here, my darling. Thank you very much for popping in. What does your future hold for you? Let's have a look then with the cards. So we'll have a little look at that for now. Let me just make sure I hit the star button on your question so that I can go into this other button. There we go. So I can only see your question, not the live chat. Right then, my darling, I will read for you in precisely, we'll say 17 seconds, so that I can move my camera arm. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God! There we go. Indeed. Oh my God, indeed. I remember that reading. It was shocking. Shocking reading. I was telling somebody about I was doing a reading for somebody, I should say. And as I'm talking through and as I always do, as I talk through, it tends to waffle on a little bit. The things I was waffling about, they were like, oh my God, Lisa, this means this and this means that. And it was shocking, shockingly accurate. So then, William Shaw, what does your future hold for you? We'll have a little look, my darling. what's coming up. Now, again, bear in mind, we only really on this channel delve into about the next 4 to 6 weeks, just because the way that the universe works, life, the universe, and everything, the patterns are only set for a few weeks in advance. If we knew what was going to happen months and months and months and years down the line, then we wouldn't have free will. And so for me, I think the big life changes, the big life events, if those might be penciled in, but the only things that we can kind of see for sure are the next 4 to 6 weeks, because we've all got free will. You know, you may wake up tomorrow and instead of going to work, you may decide, actually, I'm going to skive and I'm going to spend all day watching telly. That may well be what was always going to happen, or you may be doing that now because I've just put that thought in your mind. You see what I mean? And as we go through, as like 4 to 6 weeks, we see this sort of branch from where we are to the possibilities go like this. If you imagine that continuing out with all the various possibilities in between, anything over six weeks to 2 months maximum starts to get so vague it's almost impossible to see. You might as well just say you're going to win the lottery and you're going to, you know, move to France. Well, one version of you is, maybe not this version of you, but do you know what I mean? So then let's have a look. So as always, we are going to cleanse the space and we're going to bring in Wispy. Good evening, Wispy. Wispy is our air elemental dragon, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say I talk to dragons, I will put a link in the live chat right now, and also down in the description box, if you are watching this on replay, down in the description box just before the page break, there is the link there to the podcast episode all about my dragons. So yeah, it's all down there for you if you ever want to go and see what Wispy is and how I use Wispy to interact with the tarot. So then let's have a look. There we go. And let's do your drop. Oh, fairly central. Right then, let's have a look. So we're going to do where you are right now. Justice reversed. Interesting. What you need to know. King of Cups, and what the outcome is at the moment. Oh, my darling. My darling, my darling, my darling. So, is there an issue in your life at the moment with a partner or an ex-partner? Because where you are right now, we've got Justice, and this is a major arcana card. Now, in a lot of decks, it looks a little bit more like this, where you see the traditional sort of judge holding the sword and the scales. Now, in this instance, we can see the scales are real, but what's being weighed is ideas and hearts, so head over heart. But you can see here the sword is a ethereal or mythical sword. So Justice is, in this case, Justice isn't quite toothless, but that sword is going to go through multiple parts, shall we put it that way. It's going to separate your soul, but this is reversed, so it's saying that you currently, there is an injustice involved. So that's something that I think, you know, whether this is a legal situation or what it is, there is definitely something here that you need to take a look at. Okay, you need to take a look at. It feels, this injustice, I think, is something that you're gonna get. But hang on, I was about to say you're going to get marked harshly, but you're going to get judged harshly. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. You're going to get judged harshly for something that I don't know whether it's your fault or not. It doesn't feel like it's your fault because this is reversed, but it feels like you're going to absolutely get judged. Why do I? Yeah, you're going to get judged harshly, right? So be really careful of this. So what you need to know, we've got the King of Cups coming in. Now the King of Cups is a bit of an interesting character. hang on a second. Wispy, what are we? If this is legal and this is connected to this, who is this King of Cups? How does this King of Cups come into play? Because it's not feeling like partner energy. Could it be? It's not. It's not lover, and it's not father. It's not partner. An authority figure that is how does that work with justice? Could be a lawyer, but I don't think it is. An authority figure. What I'm getting is, oh God, what was his name? What was his name? Oh, we were just watching old repeats. Is it Mr. Rogers? In the neighborhood, in the neighborhood, it is the neighborhood, something like that. I think it's Mr. Rogers. Basically, who is like a, I mean, it's dodgy as hell these days. It's like an old grandpa type dude, who teaches kids life lessons. Hang on, Rimshaw struggling to complete their masters. Could this be a teacher? Could this be a teacher? Right. Okay. Hang on then. That shift that gear into place. This can be a teacher that can help. Rimshaw, if you're struggling to complete your masters, right? Hold on, brain. Then the justice card is there something that you've done that is making it worse, or something that's happened that is making it worse for some reason. Because this is saying, ask a teacher, speak to the teacher, the head of year, the king teacher. I was just getting to Mr. Rogers, which is friendly teacher bloke for kids, which wouldn't stand these days. But if there is a friendly teacher bloke, right? A friendly teacher dude, who you can speak to about this injustice, because it feels like something has happened and it's already too late to resolve this, right? And I don't, hang on, how can I put it? Right, 50, right, wish me, shut down my ADHD brain. Let's do this in pieces. So, a little bit of new knowledge is like a key, and it opens up everything all at once, and my brain goes, too much. Right. So the injustice here, something has happened, right? Either with your life, your actual life, or something has happened with your study that has meant that there's either an injustice done. So either you've fallen foul of something, or something has happened that you could have got an extra time for, or extra whatever, that wasn't in the case, if that makes sense. It's one of those things that you, like, this was a little while ago. So even though you might be struggling now, it's like you didn't get support or any sort of, not preferential treatment, but you didn't get support or anything then, and now you think it's too late. But if you're struggling and it links back to whatever this was, it can be a family issue, it could be a legal issue, it could be something that you were told was one thing and then it's something else, and you've had to rearrange things. Speak to whoever this teacher dude is, right? Because teacher dude is the one who's going to be able to help. The outcome makes sense because you've got temperance, which is a way of coming together, a way of compromising and coming up with an alternative solution. Now this is reversed, so it's not going to be a simple case of, right, you've got lots of extra time, or you've got lots of extra this, that, or the other, but you'll be able to find a solution that is linked in with like a negotiated, a way that feels fair. This at the moment feels very unfair in whatever's happened. This is your support, this is who you need to go to and get some advice, and basically say, look, this is why I'm struggling, and your way out is this temperance idea, this idea of finding a route that isn't just saying, right, you've got 25 million extra points, or you've got 25 extra days, or whatever, right? It isn't anything to do with that, but it is still a way of giving you that support that you need. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Whoever this person is, you need to go and speak to them urgently. Like, do it today, tomorrow. I'm not sure whereabouts in the world you are, Rimsha, but wherever you are, speak to them today, tomorrow, as soon at the earliest opportunity that you can, and that will help. Right, I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. It does feel as if you will get through this. The Temperance card is a positive card. Even when it's upside down, it's still a relatively positive card. I still do feel like there is a way out for you and not everything is lost. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, thank you very much, my darling, for your question. Honestly, Holland, if you need to get off, my love, you get off. It's not a problem. It's a particularly quiet stream today, so if you need to get off, just honestly head off, get yourself some sleep. Laura, my darling, I'm going to read this for you now. Rimshot, no problem at all. Speak to the supervisor or whoever, head of year. It's somebody who already is caring about their students already, so it's somebody who already has your back, right? Go and have a really honest conversation. If there's something that's happened to you in the last year that is the reason why you're struggling now, explain it, say it, or even if you haven't said it in the past, explain it, lay all your cards on the line and see what they can do to help. Do it before it's too late. Right then, Laura, my darling, you've donated $5, so you get the next spot. Let me go ahead and I've gone the wrong way on my buttons. There we go. So I'm going to read for you in exactly 15 seconds time. What will your card say, Laura? Right then, so we are going to cleanse the space, as always, and bring in Wispy, the air elemental air dragon that we work with on this channel. So then I'm just going to pop, I've got this lovely, I think it's obsidian, I can't remember what the stone was now, crystal of a skull, not a skull, a dragon head. And I always leave it on the side so that nobody can see it. I think I'm just going to place it right there where the flower is, just so it can be seen. Right then. So, Laura, is there anything coming in love for you, my darling? Oops, let's have a look. That was multiple cards. That wasn't a clarifying or modifying card, but we'll definitely have a look for you, my darling. Is there anything coming in love for Laura? Now, that does feel, that's a single card. And it's come up very much that way. So what is the Queen of Cups? Well, apart from the fact that I always think this looks like a rather tanned or olive-skinned version of me, it's kind of like this feels like what I aspire to be. So we've got this person with the leather jacket, but with their heart on their sleeves, key element of the Queen of Cups. But you can see here, look, they've got a ritual necklace on, they've got an eye on the scrying bowl of water, they've got runes, they've got a tarot deck, they've got crystals here, they're surrounded by these hanging crystals above their head. This is, and also I don't know if you can see down here, look, I'm not saying it is for sure, but I do have a pair of pink Doc Marten boots, and this looks almost like those. I'm going to say that's what they are. Don't know that for certain, but I'm going to say that's what they are. Now, the Queen of Cups is incredibly good, positive energy. Okay, apart from the fact, you know, they look like me. The Queen of Cups. Cups is your emotional suit, so it's all about your emotions. And the Queen is that loving, nurturing, supportive energy. And this is coming up in your clarifying or modifying space. Okay, so what this means is this warm, loving, nurturing energy is the lens that we look at the next three cards from. Okay, so basically what that means is your reading, we color it, we look at it through that lens of this particular card. And as soon as a card flips, we do your drop, and then we'll do your reading. Okay, so then, is there anything coming in love? We're going to do the standard where you are. Oh, 10 of Cups. Now that's interesting. The 9 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. Right. I've got all sorts of mank on my nails. I do apologize, as that must have been there all night. What was I doing before this? Oh, I was messing around with makeups, wasn't I? That's probably why. Sorry, everybody. My nails were really grubby, and nobody said in the comments, "Oi, Lisa, look at the state of your nails." Right, where you are right now, the 10 of Cups. Now, you've got a lot of cup energy around you, so there is already a lot of that emotional kind of energy around you at the moment, Laura. The 10 of Cups, I always say the 9 is full and the 10 is overflowing. This is the energy that's brought you to here. Okay, so I firmly believe that you are, oh, right, hang on. Don't get angry with me, right? The channel's called Beyond Authentic, and I try and give readings as authentically as possible without any of the fluffy bits, right? So this is going to sound really harsh. I don't mean it to sound the way it's sounding, but you kind of need to hear it the way it's being said, right? Does that make sense? So honestly, let me explain it all before you shout at me. Right. So in this position, in where you are, the 10 of Cups feels like you are, dare I say it, almost desperate for love, right? You are, I think you're quite lonely in terms of other things in your life are kind of okay at the moment, but this one area of your life, this one aspect is, it feels like there's a great big black hole, like a science black hole that is sucking all of your positive energy into, because you're lacking that one thing that you think will make your life complete. And that is something that, when it's overwhelming, when it's overflowing, it can get to your guts. It's not just you can feel it in your heart, you feel it in the pit of your stomach. You can feel it right down in almost in every breath you take. It rattles around. You know what I mean? That feeling of emptiness, that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of needing a companion in your life. And that isn't a negative, right? I'm not at all slating you. I have been there, my darling. Trust me, I have been there. That at that pit of despair of, why is my life, I've got a job that's a job. I may really love it, I may not, but working, I've got a roof over my head, other things in my life have all slotted into place. Why have I still got this gnawing emptiness in the pit of my stomach, where it should be filled with love and positive? I think, I don't know whether you've had a really strong relationship in the past that basically has led itself almost to where you are now. So you felt that loving energy and that loving strong connection, and that's why you're missing it. Or if it's one of those things that you look at like a Hallmark video and you go, oh, that's what I want. Or you watch a Disney film and it's like, that's what I want. Sometimes that feeling of that sort of love connection is not real. Okay, so sometimes there are these connections that we look at from other people, and we look at as an outsider, and we think, wow, that looks amazing, I really wish I had a relationship like them, only for it to turn out that they are arguing behind closed doors and they're about to get a divorce. But you never see that because of the way that life works. You only see the things that people want to see. So I do think that there is this gnawing need for you to feel that positive love energy. Especially when what you need to know, you've got that 9 of cups, right? This love energy, I do think it is there. I don't know whether it's something you are creating space for right now, right? And I'm very aware of how wishy-washy, like life coachy bullshit that sounds, and I try not to do wishy-washy life coachy bullshit stuff, but sometimes we do have to make space for that love energy to come into our life. And quite often, if it's something that is at the forefront of your mind, right, and it is something that the minute you walk into a grocery store and you see the person, you know, checking out your shopping, if you're thinking, hi, I wonder if you fancy going out on a date. If it's one of those things that is constantly at the forefront of your mind, it can literally block that energy coming in, because you're putting up so many, it's almost like you're putting out so many touchy-feely, you're putting out so many like feelers out into the universe that the universe can't get a grip of what it is you actually want and send you anything, because like you're too busy doing this, and it's like there's just no space for anybody to get close because you're sending out all of these things. I know for me in my life, when I was in this position and had this nurturing, like empathic feeling in my life, and I you know, relate to this card very firmly for that, for that reason. And when I was incredibly lonely and incredibly, you know, putting myself out there in all the wrong ways to try and find that loving, strong connection, I eventually gave up, and I eventually said, you know what? I'm not going to look for love. If love is meant to be, then so be it. I am going to give up. I'm not going on the apps. I'm not going on the dating sites or anything else. I'm fed up selling myself short. And, you know, if I'm ever going to meet somebody that gets me for me, then I'm not going to find that on any of these apps. So I give up. I'm not looking for love. I'm just going to put other things in my life and concentrate on other things. And literally less than 3 months later, maybe, my other half, who is now my husband, literally said to me, do you want to go for coffee? And it's somebody that I'd known for a very short period of time. I thought when they said to me we were going for coffee, I thought it was to talk about the relationship that they had been in a little while ago. And if, you know, I thought their ex was still being a complete cow and a bitch. And I thought there was all of this stuff going on that they wanted to talk to me about. And it turns out that he just wanted to go on a date. And I had no idea. And literally in October, we've been together for 9 years. And it all happened because I let all of this go. I literally I said literally so many times now, it's ridiculous, but I said, do you know what, I'm not gonna look for love. I am going to just live my life. And all of a sudden, so if this was my reading, I basically did that. Okay, what else is going on? And that's when it happened for me. And it's one of those silly, stupid things that people say all the time. The minute you stop looking is when it comes. But I absolutely, like, I experienced that for myself. So I can see here, if it's consuming a lot of your time and energy, my darling, the minute that you let it go and start to move on and find happiness without that person, normally is when that person comes knocking, or in my case, asking me for a coffee. The future opportunity that we've got here, the 7 of Swords. Sevens are difficult choices, difficult situations. The Swords particularly is with this magpie. It's about things being taken. Okay, thank you, Holland. And so you can see that sometimes things are taken, things are removed in a way that you need to, how can I put it? You need to be very mindful that you are holding on to what's yours, right? In one way, but also you need to be very mindful that things aren't being taken from you in terms of the metaphysical, your spiritual self and all of that, and also your physical. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a lovely nice necklace of pearls, somebody comes round to your house, you know, someone comes around for coffee and then your pearls are missing, maybe that's a good time to maybe suggest that they give you your pearls back. Do you know what I mean? But this is more talking about how you see yourself. Swords is trouble, strife, but it's also the obstacles and the hurdles in life. And what those do, the hurdles and the obstacles teach us lessons. And so this is literally, why have I started saying literally? This is suggesting, and this is saying that whilst this love energy is here, there is a risk moving forward that there is a lot of blockages happening. And not only a lot of blockages, it feels like you're missing out on positive life situations. Does that make sense? Because you do wear your heart on your sleeve, because you are compassionate, because you are caring, sometimes it can be, you can misconstrue those feelings because you're busy looking for love, and other times you can completely miss those clues altogether because you're so busy looking for a specific type and a specific thing. The Seven of Swords is all about taking on too much and having too much stolen. Does that make any kind of sense? It's literally taking away from your life. It's taking away from what you could be doing. And yeah, just bear that in mind, right? It's taking lots of things off of you that you could be using to move forward with your life. I don't know if that makes any sense, Laura. The answer is, it doesn't feel like at the moment you have space in your life for love because you're so focused on love. I know it feels like an oxymoron, but I really do think that the minute that you calm down with the search and start learning to love yourself as you are, even if that means as a solitary individual, even if that means, you know, as somebody who hasn't got a life partner for now, the minute you learn to love that aspect of you and who you are at your core, it feels like these things will stop. You'll stop stealing the positive elements from yourself. Does that make sense? I think that's what I'm trying to say. I hope that helps in some way, Laura. It really does feel as if there is positive love energy out there for you, but at the moment it's being blocked by your own need for it. I'm going to leave you with that, my darling. I hope it helps. Try and put the search for love on a back burner for now, right? And see what comes up, because this tells me that you're an incredibly loving and astute and empathic and all of that, a really caring individual, and this person will find love, absolutely, and this person will attract love. You've just got to look for it in the right way, if that makes sense. And you look for it the minute you stop looking for it. I know, right? I know what I'm saying makes no sense whatsoever, but I hope you're getting the drift of what I'm saying. What is it? What is it? The American life coach guru type people say. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I feel like I've just vomited in my mouth a little bit, but anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. And yeah, right. Let me have a look in the chat. Honestly, sometimes. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Stephanie, I'll come to you next, my darling. Oh, Princess Shy, hold off, my darling. I don't know whether we're going to have time for another reading after this one. Possibly not. Thank you, Laura. No problem at all, my darling. It resonates a lot. No problem at all. Listen, I've been there. I know how difficult it is. I have literally been there, my love. And all I can say is nearly 10 years later, you know, me and hubby, who is now in the bedroom watching Vikings on Prime while I'm doing this, you know. Right then. So Stephanie Brandon, good evening to you, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, my darling. It is nearly 2 a.m. Oops. nearly 2 a.m. here. Look, you can just see, look at that, 1:39 in the morning. If you're in the States, you can see all the times there. Look, this is how I know where people are in the world to me, what time of day, whether I need to be saying good morning, good evening, good day, or whatever it is. Right, let me just bring that into the right position. There we go. So then, Stephanie, we are going to cleanse your space, and we're going to bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon. So while I do that, I'm just going to take a slurp of my coffee, not coffee. What is it I've got today? Pepsi Max. While I do, I'm going to play this so that nobody can hear the slurping noises. Have I got a thing? Right, I tell you what, I'm going to play this because the amazing Holland is currently on as our only mod tonight, even though it's like super late here in the UK. They've stayed awake for me. So this is one of the things that our lovely Holland does. Blue Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the Witcher community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com. Yes, indeed. Sometimes I just, in between readings, there isn't enough time for me to grab a drink. And sometimes I just need to grab a drink of something in between readings because I do talk a lot. I don't know whether you've noticed. But yes, I do talk a fair bit. Also, by the way, Holland in the chat, hang on. This Holland, if you put an @ sign in front of their name and put the M next to the Holland, so @ Holland M, go and check out their YouTube channel, because if you like chilled outfit, why is that so low? If you like chilled out videos, then absolutely go and check Holland's channel out. The latest one, if you're arty in any way, they compare some Temu art pastel drawing thing, right, with another very well-known expensive brand called which apparently is like $1 billion. And so they compare the $1 billion brand with the £6 off Temu brand. Yeah, I can't, I'm not artistic, so I don't know what this one is over here, but it's a very expensive, very good quality paint drawing pastel watercolor easel paint color things. That they are like watercolor crayons. That, don't know what they are, but they look amazing on the channel. And the way that Holland, I have never used whatever this thing is, right? I don't know what this is, don't know how you're supposed to use it. Holland does turn, they add water to it and it turns it into paint, even though it's a pencil, so I don't understand how it works. But I've got to say, the video is very chilled and relaxing, so do go and check that out if you just, you know, like chilled and relaxing content. They've also gone to a druid temple and done a video all about that, so yeah, check them out. Right then, so Wispy, we haven't forgotten you, Stephanie. We're still here. Stephanie, Wispy, Stephanie wants to know, will her and Emad get back together? We love each other, but other people are getting in the way. Do you know that happens, doesn't it, sometimes? Well, also I'll tell you what happens is I forget how to shuffle midway through doing so. Sometimes people do get in the way, and sometimes there's a bloody good reason for it, you know, red flags and all of that. Sometimes in a relationship, other people can see certain things that we can't, and sometimes we do need a close friend to go, you know, they pick up on something toxic that we don't necessarily see. But also sometimes people do stick their noses in when they're not wanted. So, you know, I think you've got to be mindful of the risk of that. You do have to be mindful, just in case people can see something that you can't. But also from the same point, sometimes you just want to tell people, you know, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You just want to go like that. Or depending on which country you're in, it might be that you want to tell them. You know, you just go, oh, sorry, got an itch. All of that. I can't do that. Right then, we'll see what the cards have to say. Wispy, will Emad and Stephanie get back together? Let's have a look and see what the cards have to say. You never know. These cards, this deck particularly, the Fifth Spirit Tarot deck, is very good at picking up whether people are genuine or not, and whether there is any hint of toxicity. So where you are right now, we've got the Three of Cups. This is moving on from a couple and wanting to move forward. Okay, so whether that is with having children, adopting children, taking on pets, moving in together, it's taking those next steps, right? So this is where you are. It's quite often seen as the Three of Swords is the heartbreak. The Three of Cups is like the big heart, the heartbeat, if you like, right? So this is saying that I do think that you have a lot of feelings for Emad. Absolutely 100%. But let's see. So this is where you are. What you need to know. Right. Okay. Hang on. Let's do. Okay. Right. Okay. So what you need to know. The Eight of Wands. Now, you heard me pause and you heard the slight catching my breath there. So I'm not going to pretend this is the most wonderful card in this position, because it's saying that where you are wanting to get back with Emad, move forward, take all of these things on. What you need to know, though, it feels like there is a massive shock and a massive a reality check coming, right? So the Eight of Wands is all about your confidence, how you see yourself, sense of self-esteem, right? All of that. The Eight is when we put a journey towards the Nine. So the Eight is very much seen as a stepping stone card. In traditional tarot, this suit has all of the wands kind of diagonally depicted across the screen. And the idea is that you are throwing all of these various elements of your life up in the air and catching the ones that you want to take forward towards the Nine. The Nine is when something is full. So the Nine of Wands would be a really positive time, lots of confidence, lots of, self-esteem, feeling really good about yourself. The 10, it veers into arrogance for me, but the 9 is when it's at its peak, right? This is reversed. Now, Stephanie, this is right. This is a little bit of that warning moment, because of this reversal, it's saying that what you need to know is, look, there could be some really difficult facts that are going to come into play, and those difficult facts could really undermine your confidence and your sense of self, right? So I don't know what those facts could be. I don't know whether this is a situation where Emad is from another country, from a different culture, or whether they're literally just, whether there's an age gap, whether there's a religious gap. It feels like there's some sort of misconnect. As soon as you ask the question, it really just feels as if there's a misconnect. My concern is that we start with the Three of Cups, which is emotion. We end with the Three of Pentacles. Pentacles is career, work, finances. So it could be that there's a financial element in play, but also this particular card is very much seen as the apprenticeship card. This is seen as learning lessons, and this can be seen as learning lessons the hard way. So whilst I don't want to suggest that things are not going to go positive for you, it doesn't feel here as if there is a reconciliation or a connection. If anything, it feels like it feels like you may have your friends may be right, the people around you getting in the way. it feels like if those people are warning you about toxicity and about maybe some negatives that you can't see, it feels like they're right. I'm jumping to that assumption rather than it being the people that are in the way is like someone else trying to get with you, someone else trying to get with Emad, you know, all of these other sort of characters trying to become your partner or Emad's partner. I don't think it's that. It feels very much as if people are trying to warn you from maybe getting in too deep too quick. I'm going to pull you another card, my darling. Wispy, I want to clarify, what's this learning around? What area is this learning in? Oh, my darling. It's right. Okay. It's in the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is couples. Twos are couples. Cups is the emotional suit, as I said here. So this learning is around this, right? This is not, you are going to learn how to be together and it's going to be wonderful. This is literally what I'm asking is, what is this learning around? So what is this life lesson around? And Wispy gives me the couple card. So this is a lesson learned about being in that couple, if that makes sense. This is not saying that this is you two getting back together. This is saying that it feels like down the line, a little way from now, a few weeks, maybe not even that far, this realization is going to hit, or this knowledge is going to come to light, and that's going to lead to this learning, and you're going to discover things about Emad, or perhaps Emad will be in another relationship and you'll learn that maybe there was another relationship on the go, or maybe there was an ulterior motive, maybe there was something else happening behind the scenes that will become revealed, because this is the learning. And you literally heard me ask Wispy, what are we learning about? We're learning about the relationship. And this isn't we're learning from doing, this is a revelations about the relationship are going to come up. Oh, Wispy, so that we don't send Stephanie away completely bereft, is it right? How can I put it? Right, Wispy, once this lesson is learned, maybe way down the future, but is there going to be a happier relationship for Stephanie down the line? That's what we want to know. Is there going to be a happier relationship further down the line? Okay, you've got the Chariot reversed. The Chariot is a journey. So it's going to need to be, this is going to be a journey, maybe a journey of acceptance, a journey of trust or faith. And I don't mean faith in the above, I mean faith in yourself. But it really does feel as if there is going to be, although it's reversed, it's a positive, if that makes sense. I'll explain. It's a journey that you don't particularly want to go on. Coming after this, that makes perfect sense. So this is your discovery about the relationship, learning about maybe why people were alarmed or why things didn't work out. That journey is going to lead you to a happier future, even though you're not going to want to go on it, right? So it's like looking into the dark places in the back of your mind. None of us want to look there, but we have to from time to time to clear out all that shit in that baggage. It's like if you keep shoving stuff up in your attic, eventually you run out of space and you've got to go up there and sort it out. Nobody wants to sort out what they put in their attic 15 years ago, because it's just stuff you go, why am I keeping that? Why is that up here? Why have I got an old doll? Why have I got a stack of newspapers? It probably was important. I don't remember what they are now. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to do that type of job. I don't want to look in the back of, clear out the back of the fridge or clear out the freezer. And do you know what I mean? That's that. That's those jobs that you don't want to do, but you have to. And that's what this is talking about. So I don't think you're going to get back together. I think you love him more than he loves you. in all honesty. I really, really, really do. And I think that learning, this card in particular, this Three of Pentacles in particular, be very, very careful if there's a financial element involved, because it feels like there could be a financial element that maybe Mads needs a phone bill covered, or just needs a bit of help with this right now, just needs a bit of help with that right now. It does feel as if this learning, this education is going to learn, you're going to learn about the relationship, and then I do feel there's a journey for you to go on, my darling, a bit of a spiritual, emotional journey for you to be able to heal. But it does sound from what it does feel from what Wispy is suggesting, that there is love for you, but it will be after Emad, if that makes sense. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. I hate to be on here when people are hoping for really positive answers, and all I can do is give you the genuine answers from the cards. Again, do bear in mind, you make all your decisions about your own life. This is only tarot at the end of the day. It's got to be classed for entertainment purposes only. But having said all of that, I hope it helps. He's Arabic but doesn't follow his religion. He's been in America since he was 16. He's 56 now. Okay, so I don't know why. He has a high status. Many people want him. Okay, so what's the issue with... Okay, my darling, but what's the issue with the people then? What's the issue with the people, and why aren't you together? If that's the case, if he's this amazing person, why aren't you with him? If he loves you and you love him, what is standing in the way? If it's because other people want him, is he cheating? Is he going off and having relations with lots of other people? In which case, he isn't there to be with you. In which case, red flag. You run 2 of his businesses. Do you get paid for that? Are you paid for running his businesses? Do you do it out of love, or do you do it for a decent salary that is there regardless? Does he have other people running his businesses? If so, those other people running his businesses, is he in potential relationships with them as well? Do you see what I mean? There's some... I can certainly see why some people would have questions there. Again, I don't think you can have relationships with people of very different religions, or somebody who is very very spiritual and somebody who's not particularly spiritual. That can happen a lot. So I don't see the religion necessarily as a barrier. He's obviously been in America for 40 years, therefore green cards and all that is sorted, so that's not a barrier. So what are the problems then? If you feel you've been together in a past life and you've known each other for 20 years, then again, it asks the question, my darling, why aren't you together? What is stopping you? From the cards perspective, I would question whether or not he's using you, my darling. That really is what the cards are suggesting. But yeah, I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. I really hope that helps. But that is going to be it, everybody, for today's session. Thank you ever so much for joining us if you've been here on the live. It's been a quiet evening. It's always a quiet late shift, but we are going to be doing this each and every Thursday evening at 11:45, so quarter to midnight on a Thursday night here in the UK, and that works out to be, what was it, 11 a.m. San Francisco, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. in New York for New York time, and then in South Africa it's 8 p.m. India 11:30 p.m. and Australia 4 a.m. So yeah, absolutely. No, that's the 7 p.m. times. I've given you exactly the wrong times. Thursday streams, the late night streams, are 4:45 in the afternoon for San Francisco. That's right. 4:45 in the evening in Denver, 6:45 in New York. In South Africa, you're an hour ahead of us, so it's 1:45 a.m. In India, it's in India, it's 5:15 a.m. and in Australia, it's 8:45, 8:45 a.m. Hopefully that helps. Everyone is jealous you're together, all his employees. But you said you're not together, my darling. He deals with a lot of money and can't trust anyone with his businesses. Okay, but you said he trusts you. So he trusts you enough to run 2 of his businesses, but not to be with you as a partner because other people get jealous. It really does feel, my darling, like there are some red flags here. Again, look, I hope you're getting paid for your work, for running his businesses. I really do. I hope that you are able to maintain healthy work boundaries, put it that way, if you're running his businesses. It was always the wrong time until the last 8 months, but if you're not together and the last 8 months have been the right time, I don't know. It does feel as if there are some red flags there, my darling, but I do hope that helps. Listen, we stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at various times. Pop in and see us again. Let us know how things are going. I wish you the very, very best of luck, my darling. It does feel as if there are some difficulties with this relationship, but I do hope that the cards have given you at least a little bit of guidance. And with that, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your time. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to Holland, who ended up keeping the fort, running the fort, whatever the phrase is. It's too late, my brain has stopped. Keeping everything running, there you go, we'll put it that way. So thank you, Holland, very, very much. Thank you ever so much for being here and being so amazing. And of course, thank you to all for watching and for asking questions and for subscribing and all of that juicy jazzy jazz. Don't forget, if you've liked the stream, do please hit the like button on your way out. That would be phenomenal. And I will see you again on another one. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And I will definitely see you on the next one, which is going to be this Sunday at 7 p.m. UK time. Take care.